Well, it looks like this is it. $5,005 victory points. I am now in Champion 5. What does this mean? I'm not sure what I was seeing before. Oh, everything says unknown opponent. But I actually made it to Challenger or Champion 5. I had to take my strongest team, like the team that I go to, that to beat content that I think I mentioned before, like I say content, but in arena, to beat teams that when I look at them, I say to myself, man, I don't know what I'll be up against. I don't know what it is I'll be dealing with. Let me go with something that will help me to give me the best possible options to, uh, deal with whatever may come. And so I chose that team as my defense team. And that helped to stave off. I mean, I had some victories with the previous defense team I had, but there were a lot of people that were just able to come through and beat them. So I decided, let me change that to help keep some conquest points. Is it conquest points or arena points? What is it? It's not so it's victory points. So in order to try to keep as many victory points as possible, I changed my defense team to what I use to give me the most survivability and the most survivability, which increases my chances to try to defeat the enemy or the opponent PvP arena team. So that change helped to me to win my defense team to win to stave off the loss of victory points. And then I started making an effort to look for teams, when I look for opponents, look for teams that I'm better suited to beat. And so I had to do a little bit of refreshing, but I managed to find teams that I thought I could beat. Teams I thought I could beat, I initially lost at first on at least one or two of them, but then there were some other teams that I was able to beat outright. So I made it to Champion 5. I'm not sure if I want to try to do some more fighting. I mean, I guess I'll fight this team. That Tempest Surin is going to probably go first, I would assume. But there's a good chance that they won't. So and he'll get popped. So I'm just going to do this here and see what happens. She did not go first. This, she did. That's interesting. Could have been able to use Infernal Quazu here. So what I'm going to do is want to be able to buff my team. So I'll just do this. So this will help stave off any more debuffs. Huh. This is not going at all like I thought it would. And see, this is what I mean. It's like I thought that Tempest Shurin would surely go first, but she didn't. Goodness. Let's try to give my hero here some survivability. I'm going to move my Landy down. Maybe I'll get a stun on someone. Need a counterattack. I need to keep my Armin alive. Got a stun. Okay. I'm not sure what that was about. Need to keep my... try to take... Oh, she needs to go. She needs to go. That maid Chloe needs to go. Pick this team apart. We just heal up just in case of any surprises. And there it is. I actually made it to Champion 5 with the heroes that I have. Something I thought would not be possible. I thought I would need to have whatever the latest heroes were, or the late, heroes with the, I don't know, with the stuffs, with all the paragraph on their abilities saying they could do all these kinds of things and automatically responding to threats or to non-attack activities. I don't know. But I guess this is cool because it shows that if you play smart, if if you build a team that has good synergy and, like, I guess if you build a team that has good synergy, good survivability, or if their survivability comes from them having an excellent offense, then that counts as well. You can, and combined with playing smart, you can get to champion 5 without having to pull for all the latest and greatest heroes, without having to spend your whole life, farming like equipment and stuff, or spending all your money on heroes. You don't have to do that. So, I guess I say I guess, but that this is really a testament to Smilegate and Super Creative for making a game to where if you want, it's like where they made a game where they may give you heroes that you can build, that if you put the effort, if you put the time and effort into building, like, okay, I'm a, you get the equipment. And like I said before in a previous video, I come to the, conquest shop, and, I pick up pieces of equipment, like, see what's sold out here. I picked up the amulet and I picked up the ring, or, okay, here's the amulet, here's the ring. And then I come through all this stuff, buying everything out, or at least anything that I feel like I can use. I don't buy everything. But, I get all these pieces of equipment from in here that I feel like I can use. It was, and sometimes I would buy this stuff, built, like, level it up, then salvage it, and to just make a a equipment conversion piece. But, I just come through here and I get all the stuff that's worthwhile for whatever's I'm trying to do, and then, I build it. And then any other pieces that I need, that's when I go to farming. And I tried, I will use a heroic piece and whatnot. And then, all the events where they give you free pieces of gear, or they allow you to do the craft your own pieces of equipment with whatever stat you want. I do all those things. And I try to play smart. And this is how I made it this far. I try to build heroes that have, um, a very useful toolkit. It can't be a niche toolkit where, you know, using, like, they're good for certain circumstances. Like, unfortunately, this Infernal Quazu, hold on. Unfortunately, this Infernal Quazu is one of those characters where he's niche. Like, okay, I can only really use him when there's a team doing a lot of AoE, and mainly if the hero goes first. The hero will need to go first. So, but and when those situations don't occur, it's like, even though I'm going with the silence option on his ultimate, it's like, even if I went with the immunity option, because he goes first before being hit with an AoE, he has to survive until he comes around again after the AoE, and usually he doesn't. The enemies, they just all focus on him, like boom, 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 and then he's down. So he's niche, but when, there's a lot of teams that use openers, that, like, speedy openers that try to cleave your team. So in those cases, he works out great. But he's like, but I needed an answer to those speedy cleave openers. I needed an answer to that. And so he's the answer. So in this case, this is a niche I was looking to fill. But outside of that, I try to build heroes that have a very universally good toolkit. That's not just niche, not just for this, not just for that. It's like they could be used everywhere. Then I try to make them work really well. I spend time thinking about, okay, where does my healer need to be? Where does this person need to be? And all these other things. And so, and then, according to the speed of all my other heroes, I build all the heroes I want to fit in around the speed of my other heroes and all these other things. So I create this really good synergy that if I'm able to, you know, let's say get the favorable circumstances, I know what kind of damage they can do. I know what kind of output they can have. And they're universally good anyway. It's like they're just really strong generally. And so just being able to build those kinds of heroes and like do everything else I said, build a team with synergy, um, and play smart, you know, and I forgot what I said. I forgot what else I said in the beginning. I didn't write any of this down, but I just build team with a good synergy, with good overall skills. Yes, right, good overall skills that are not niche, and um, play smart. Try to find teams I know I can beat, or I feel strongly that I can beat, and able to get, able to make it to where at least I wanted to be, or at least once. Trying to stay at champion 5, who knows? So, but anyway, that's it for this one. Woohoo! I guess it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good in a way. I guess it makes me feel positive about, like I said before, giving kudos to Smile Good and Creative and Super Creative. It makes me feel good that all this time that I've been investing in playing this game, that that counts for something. It's not like it's all for naught, and then the only way to really do anything is to blow a whole bunch of money. I mean, if I want to try to get to the highest tier in Arena, okay, sure, you got to be number one. Okay, so for that, fine, I get it. I won't make a big deal about that. That's what you need to be. You need to have the latest heroes with the latest team comps, that with the best possible gear and all this other jazz. Fine, got it. But just a, you could say, casual, somewhat free to play player, you can still get to a you can still do most of the content and get to a decent place in the game. It feels like all the time that you've put into it was worthwhile. So I guess that's it. All right. Later.